Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today from Mattel Toys, we are featuring the WWE Championship Showdown 2-pack. Series 10 featuring Omos and AJ Styles. This even comes with a display base as shown right here. The display base looks like the Raw Tag Team Championship title. It features two armatures and you can mount the wrestlers on each one. Wonderful toy, wonderful set. It's great for both collectors and kids. Has some playability to it, but it's also great that they, give you a display option as well. Beautiful card back and graphic design work. I love the two opposite portraits with the Championship Showdown logo. On the back of the box, you have the verse graphic with Omos on the left and AJ on the right. It gives their point of origin and also lists their finishing move. It tells you how to attach the display base and how to mount the figures onto it. Also in Series 10, we have Andre and Hogan, which I've reviewed previously. And we even have Lashley versus The Miz. Alright, first let's take a look at the championship display base. It's kind of hard to see because it doesn't look like the graphic was printed very cleanly on mine. It's very fainted. But if you get this in the light, you can kind of make out the tag team championship plate. And the red base kind of recreates the red leather strap. It comes with two clips. A smaller one for AJ, a larger one for Omos. Here are the two armatures. So in order to display the figures, you just assemble these together, like so. And then you can mount it anywhere where there's these open slots. They even give you the option to even change up the positioning. So instead of using the default slot right there, you can mount it on the top. And if you wanted to, you could pose the figure as if they're like performing maybe like a drop kick or like a flying splash. Here's another example of the display base. This is the one that came with Hogan and Andre. As you can see, this one, the sticker, much better presentation. You can actually see the graphic here. Whereas for whatever reason on the Tag Team Championship, I'm not sure if they just forgot to print black ink or if it just came out really faded, but you don't really see much of the design on the emblem right there, which is unfortunate. All right, let's move these aside for now. And we have Omos. I want to say this might be the first time they've used this mold, because, I mean, if you watch WWE programming, Omos is gigantic. And then here's AJ. All right, let's take a look at AJ first. If you've been collecting WWE action figures for some time now, chances are you might have at least a dozen AJ Styles action figures in your collection. This is a figure they've released numerous times in the basic core line. The only thing difference is usually just the graphics on his tights. Beautiful figure. The likeness to AJ is spot on. It kind of has that longer soccer mom haircut. He has the beard. He has the tattoos on his torso. And then, if I remember correctly, all these dates on his the side of his abdomen, these are all the birthdays of his children. He has the P1 logo on the one leg and the Japanese text on the other. I think this might say phenomenal, I think. Yeah, beautiful. I love the color scheme too with the black and the white. In terms of AJ's articulation, his head rotates left and right. Articulated arms, they go outward, upward. Pinless, single pinned elbows, and they swivel and bend. Articulated wrists. There is no ab crunch, but there is a swivel at the waist. Articulated legs, they go up. Articulated knees, they bend. And there is no articulated ankles, but I think there is a boot cut. So the boots do swivel. This figure stands in, if I had to guess, maybe 6.5 inches, I think. Let me grab my ruler. So this guy stands in a little under 6 3/4. So keep in mind that this figure is categorized as a basic or core figure. It's not to be confused with Mattel's Elite or Ultimate line of action figures. The basic core figures feature less articulation, less paint application, but in terms of paint application, AJ's is, I think this is as much detail as you're gonna get for a basic. It's a lot, especially with his tights, and the tattoo. You know, I think this is a great figure, even though it's a budget figure. You know, I think the set costs anywhere between $19 to $22. I think it's a great value. You're getting 2 excellent action figures plus the display base. And I love this iteration of AJ. It looks fantastic. Up next, we have Omos. This is a gigantic action figure. He stands in at about almost 8 inches. So I don't remember if they make an Elite Omos yet. This might be the only... There might have been a solo release of Omos, but for the most part, I don't think they've released an Elite version of this character yet. It's very tall. You know, the head sculpt looks fantastic. It looks like Omos. I was kind of hoping that they'd release a version of him where he kind of wore that long brown leather jacket. I thought that was a great look for him. But that's primarily his entrance gear, or I think it used to be. So if you remember the pairing of Omos and AJ, Omos was kind of like AJ's bodyguard during parts of the pandemic era of WWE programming. It's a well done figure. It looks very basic. I mean, if you look at the torso, it doesn't look like a whole lot of thought went into the sculpting, because it's not like they sculpted a lot of folds. There's like vaguely a sense of like musculature. The pants also, they look very basic. You know, even though there's some folds and wrinkles, just the way the hips are shaped along with the waist, it doesn't look like it's taken very seriously. But it's a sizable figure. I think it's fantastic. And for example, let's do a size comparison next to Andre. I don't know if this is accurate in terms of the actual real heights of the the wrestlers in real life. But as you can see here, they're both very sizable, very tall compared to the other figures. You know, here's AJ. And I want to say in real life, I think AJ's actually a lot shorter than this. I might be wrong though. But Omos is, man, he is gigantic. Again, articulation for Omos, very basic, just like AJ's. His head rotates. Arms rotate. They go out. Pinless arms, but they do swivel also. Articulated wrists. There is no waist. There is no ab crunch, but there is a waist swivel. Legs can kick up, knees can bend, and there is somewhat articulation in the ankles. This kind of slight swivel movement. Overall, it's a cool figure. You know, I like Omos a lot. Every time I see him on TV, I'm kind of like this wow, because he's so gigantic and tall, and it's kind of gross. He has there's like a piece of, it's either plastic thread or a hair caught underneath his neck. That's disgusting. It's inside of him. I think this is like, it's not even hair. I think it's like a plastic filament. It's kind of weird. It's kind of gross also, but... All right, so yeah, that's Omos and AJ. Wonderful 2-pack. On a scale of 1 to 10, for the value alone, I think this is a perfect 10. You're getting a gigantic figure in Omos. You're getting AJ Styles, and AJ's, for years, he's been one of my favorite wrestlers. You know, ever since TNA, I've been a big follower of AJ. It kind of boggles my mind that to this day, they still kind of throw the Japanese kanji text on his tights, because his period in New Japan, I don't think it was that as long as people remember it being. I think, you know, it might have been for a couple of years, but I don't think it was long enough that it warrants it being on the tights. It's kind of like how the Good Brothers are always kind of billed as being from like Japan. All right, so yeah, let's get the display base out real quick too and show that off one last time. All right, so let's assemble this so I can show you how this functions and works. All right, so we could take the clip, put it on the armature here, and the same with Omos. Omos's clip is actually wider than AJ's, you know, just so it could fit on that figure. So don't make the mistake of accidentally using the AJ clip on Omos, because you might accidentally, I don't know, break it. And then with the belt, you know, you just mount them on each side. We'll put AJ here. And then we'll put Omos on opposite. So I love this a lot. It's kind of silly. I mean, if you're an older collector, you might scoff at the idea, but I think if you're a kid and you want to display your toys or putting them in a cool action pose, at least you have that option. So then you just put them together. They almost look like Rock'em Sock'em robots, minus the actual like play feature, but it's just kind of neat. You know, if you want to, you could display them on your shelf. And if you want to put them like in some sort of pose, like maybe he's kicking them, you know. It's silly, but I kind of like it. I think it's cool. It's well worth the value, in my opinion. All right, so with that being said, let's wrap this up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I will see you at the next one. All right, later.